Hey everybody, it's Brad. Probably some of you have seen this video that I put up a couple days ago, Floriani Forum Answers Simple-ish Freestanding Lace, in which I go through a ridiculously laborious process to create a freestanding lace design. Well, Mark from the forums sent me a message about how he figured out a way to do it in a much faster, much easier to do way. So mad props to Mark here, who has come up with a way that makes way more sense. And yeah, so I'm really glad that he found this out, because I was kind of bummed that it was such a time-consuming thing, because I wanted to do this in my in-store Floriani club, but you know, just all that clicking and drawing those lines, my God. So anyway, let me show you the method that Mark came up with. It all hinges on the fact that this one certain type of stitch in the program actually has the traveling stitch going along the outside edge of the design, the way that I wanted it to do in the first place. And oddly enough, it's the wave fill. And after thinking about it, it makes perfect sense, because when you do a wave fill, let me just grab a shape here, just a regular, do like a rectangle here, and apply a wave fill to it. If you look at a wave fill, if they had a traveling stitch going through this design, you'd be able to see it. And look at that. It does it as one continuous wave. So awesome. Now, the trick here, though, is that a wave stitch is wavy. we want to have a grid. We don't want to have like a wavy grid. Although I suppose that might work. But I'd prefer to have a nice straight grid. So what you do is you go, and I'm going to do the same shape that I did before, the Christmas tree. Okay, so we bring our Christmas tree in, right? So here he is, and we're going to apply a wave stitch to it, a wave fill. All right, so we've got this nice wavy fill, and we can see the straight line along the outside edge. That's the traveling stitch for this whole design. This is what I want. We should be able to choose this, to have the traveling stitch in the middle or on the edge. But until that happens, and I bet it does eventually. I mean, obviously I am not in charge of whether that happens or not, but I bet that it does at some point. Until it does, we can get away with making freestanding lace this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the wave line is actually like a special kind of inclination, and what we can do is go over to our shape tool, and this wavy line that you see here, this is the inclination line. And what we can do is delete the midpoints in here. So we're going to right click on the midpoints and hit delete, right click on the other midpoint and hit delete. Okay, and that leaves you with a perpendicular line. And what happens when your inclination is not a perpendicular line? I'm sorry. It's late. It's like 12:30 here. It leaves you with a horizontal line. Okay, and what happens when you have a horizontal line? Go ahead and hit the select to generate this. It's lines that are just going straight across perfectly. I love it. We'll set my density to, we'll set it to 3 and hit apply. Lovely. And then I can even go and adjust my start and my stop points. So if I go in and go back to the shape tool, I'll set my start point at the top and my stop point at the bottom, and just hit the select tool again to generate it, and we've got a lovely design that's going to make a nice grid when we put the perpendicular one to it. Okay, and notice there's no jump stitches. It's just beautifully goes from here down exactly the way that I drew it in painstakingly by hand the other day. Okay, so don't I feel like an idiot now? But I don't really, because I just didn't know that this stitch, had the traveling stitch going along the edge. So we've got the first one. We select it. We're going to right click, copy, right click, paste to put it on top of itself, and then we're going to go back to our shape tool, and we're going to take the inclination and we're going to move it so that it's perpendicular. And when you do this, because this was a wavy line here, all we got to do is just flip these little kind of paddle looking pieces in until this becomes a straight line. So we kind of just move them so they're right in the middle there, and that gives us a pretty much straight line. And then go ahead and generate the stitches, and now we've got a grid. Here, let me move both of them at the same time. Look at this. I'm gonna turn off my grid in the background so we can see it better. See that? Look at that. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Thank you, Mark, because this is what I'm going to do for Floriani Club this month. Copy, paste it onto itself, make a steel stitch around it to hold everything together, and now we can add lettering to this. We can do all kinds of wonderful things to this. So I'm just beside myself that this works this easily. Yep. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.